Hello, Meoni here, and welcome back to another unboxing video for Final Fantasy XIV related stuff. Today we finally got the Meister quality or Meister quality Omega statue delivered, which, yes, I've been anticipating. This is what the box art looks like on the back, and as you probably know by now, this costs quite a considerable amount of money. I'll put that on screen for you. I've also noticed that the box art has been changed. The photography is different than the actual site itself, which is, yes, quite surprising indeed. Let's cut to when we actually have this open then. I decided to do the audio afterwards because, well, it was easier. This is what the front of the box looks like then. You might be familiar with these. They usually have Velcro covers, and this one is no different. So you've got the Omega in there if you want to keep it in the box and send it back, as some people might, judging by the look of those faces. We'll come to that again in a second in better quality as we take it out. But we also have this text on the left there describing what Omega is and where Omega is from and the interdimensional rift, which is a really nice write-up, and if you want to, you can pause the video and read that if you wish to. But it's the usual story of the Omega raids. If you've not done the Omega raids, I would highly recommend you go and do them. They're a lot of fun, and the rewards are great, especially from FFXIV, where this particular two figures today actually feature prominently. Of course, that's what this is based on, off of the FFXIV 4 version of this fight, as well as Omega itself. So let's get this out of the box. There we go, as simple as that. Simple packaging, as you might see. We've got a bit of cellophane covering it over the top. We've got lighting on at the moment on my phone. We'll turn that off in just a moment. Just wanted to show you what it's like in the dark area here. This is the face up close, which doesn't look very good with lighting. But as we focus, there we go. A lot of people are saying this looks nothing like the original photography taken for the Square Enix store, and I would have to completely agree with that. We did a video literally the other day talking about the quality of the faces not being up to par and how many people were concerned. This then is in normal natural light. We've got the window next to us. This is midday sort of recording, so we had natural light coming in as well as a table lamp. So nice yellow light, sort of light that a lot of people haven't taken their photos in. And so as you can see, the quality of the faces is actually slightly better. It's not quite as bad as people made out. I think the conditions that the photos were taken in were heavily, impacted by the light source that they had. But at the same time, I can't really argue that the quality of those faces are just not anywhere near the same as on the actual original photography. So is this basically a breach of trading standards? Is this representative of the original product that we were sold essentially under that imagery? Where is the original model then that was created as a mock-up for that? And do Square Enix need to consider, going for someone else when it comes to creating their figures in the future? I personally think so. Now, the size of this model is actually quite small, as you can see with the size of my hand. As much as I wish my hand was the size of an entire statue, it isn't usually that big. Basically, the statue is quite small. You'll see that as I turn it around, there are quite a lot of flimsy bits, lots of fragile bits. If you're familiar with the Omega statue, you'll be familiar with how flimsy some of the parts are and how detailed some of them are. I think overall the detail is quite high on the rest of the model. It looks pretty good. The weapon looks pretty good, and bits and pieces here. The hair is going to be fragile. But overall, I think the quality is much less than the rest of their Meister quality figures, and that's ultimately, at the end of the day, the quality standard that they are trying to set. I don't think it's quite the same as the original concept or photography imagery that we were sold this product based upon, whereas a lot of the other models we have seen, including Omega, were sold with the correct photography listed on the store page when we purchased them. So really, this is going to be sort of like a consumer idea of whether or not you want to purchase this. I believe you can still purchase this straight away. And really, this is going to be a bit of a consumer sort of piece of advice, whether or not you want to shell out, over £200 for something, including the shipping, obviously. Because obviously shipping in the UK is awful at the moment, and it's probably even worse where you are. whether or not you want to buy it. So here's a size comparison then and a quality comparison. This is the Ultima statue, also Meister quality. You must excuse a few of the cobwebs and a bit of dust. This has been next to my computer for a while, but you'll notice that the quality is quite extravagant in comparison. This in much closer detail when we did the original photography on this when it wasn't dusty was just mind-blowing. And there you go, there's the Shadowbringers Collector's Edition statue as well, just for a size comparison. So these two on the left, the Omega and the Ultima, are Meister quality statues, or Meister quality, and this is just something you get with the Collector's Edition of Shadowbringers. Now, I thought that the Omega statue would be much larger than this, and you know, as Fran said when I unboxed it, I thought it would be a lot bigger than that, and that's definitely what she said, and definitely what I said as well. But yeah, the quality between the Ultima High Seraph statue and the Omega one, unfortunately, is quite a big divide, isn't it, between? Sadly. But there we go, that's kind of my look at the Omega statue. Maybe you completely disagree with me, maybe the faces are something that you can put up with. I personally don't have any plans to send this back. I still think it looks pretty good from a distance. I just don't think it looks anything like the original photography, and I know for a fact they're going to get a lot of feedback and flack for this going forward into the future, especially if they plan to do, you know, statues of other bosses as iconic as Omega is. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments section below, and I'll see you all next time.